Hello sweet friends and welcome back to the Rebookery channel. This is Gina and I am so glad you're here. Yeah, I've been gone. I've been gone for a while. I think the last video I posted was in March and I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking with me. I've got so much stuff that I want to share with you guys and I cannot wait to get going. Right before the pandemic, I had started filming some online classes. I was going to offer these and they were going to be classes about a particular theme or a topic in a journal, and I was so excited. As soon as I got my first class filmed, the shutdown happened and I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. I didn't feel that it was right for me financially to invest money in a platform to house my classes. I just knew I couldn't do it. And then the other side of that was I just didn't feel right about asking people to pay for those classes because I knew everybody was struggling. And so it really made me think, and I kind of just was in mourning for a while. and then I figured it out. I have found a new platform. It's called Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, and I will link it in my Instagram. But basically this is going to be a one-stop shop. This is what I want it to be. It's a place where I'm going to house my videos, and the videos are going to be ad-free. So talking with the creators of Ko-fi, they are going to start offering a way that you can sell goods through this site, and all you have to use is your PayPal account. And it's just going to kind of be my home base. I can put posts on there, like short little blurbs about what's going on, or I can put a full-on video. One of the main reasons why I chose Ko-fi as my platform was because I'm able to generate some revenue through donations from all of my viewers and my fans, people that would love to support my art, my inspiration, my supply buying, my estate sale, scavenging adventures. It gives my viewers the option. Maybe they feel like they can donate, maybe they feel like they can't donate, but regardless, my stuff is still out there. I'm still going to try to give you quality creative inspiration. And if you feel that you would like to help me as I go through my passion and you want to support me with that, then you are more than welcome to make donations. And my ultimate goal is to get off of Etsy. I just not loving Etsy's way of dealing with their sellers, but what I'm mostly disenchanted with is the way Etsy really kind of stuck it to their customers, especially international customers, with the whole free shipping thing. And I know we've talked about this before because free shipping is really not free shipping. My goal is to get off of Etsy, and I will still put my stuff on YouTube, but I'm going to always put my stuff on Ko-fi first. If you are watching this through YouTube, please click on the link below and check out my Ko-fi page. If you are watching this video on Ko-fi, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And again, if you feel like you would like to help support my passion, then go ahead and click on that little button. I will truly be grateful and appreciative for anything and everything that you can do to help me out. Otherwise, I'm here to do my normal thing. I've got so much cool stuff planned for you guys. So let's get to this. I'm going to do a flip through of this junk planner. So now that school is over and summer has begun, I'm ready to get back at it. And I'm ready to show you guys what I've actually been doing. This is an altered book journal. I've showed this to you guys before. This is an old cookbook that I tore out some of the pages, glued them together. It's almost complete and I've only got a few more days left, and it'll be time for me to start a new journal. One of the things I added to this journal was a lot of self-care and mindfulness. I really got into taking care of myself mentally during this time period. And so this became a great place for me to just jot down mindful things, thoughtful things, things that I needed to remember in order to have a positive outlook. And so you'll see kind of a theme as I go through here of just some self-care tips, as well as my calendars, and then my daily gratitude. So this is a daily gratitude page. This is when I started at February 8th. And in my mind, I was just thinking, I will add something every day. I had originally been doing this like I had a separate journal, and so I would have a page for each day. But what happened was it just became too cumbersome because I was going through the pages so quickly, and I really needed a place where I could just jot down whatever I wanted and not have to worry about running out of room and things like that. So this is one I started in February, and I loved it. I loved every day. I would get so excited because I knew I'm going to go home, and this was when I was still teaching at school, and I was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to take just a minute to get creative, to get colorful, and to be thankful. And I really, really loved this. And I love how this page came out in particular because it has some of my drawing. It had some stitching because I really got into some slow stitching. And then just my normal marks and messiness that I have thoroughly embraced. So one thing you may notice about this journal is that the pages all have some sort of stitching or fabric down the edge. This was something that was new. In my previous junk planners, my altered books, I had been running washi tape, but for some reason on this one I felt a little bit more, I wanted more texture. So I just ran this through my sewing machine over, I don't know, a couple of days, just would do a few pages at a time. And I'll be honest, I absolutely love it. It made me get so excited whenever I would see the fabric. The washi tape on the edges always made me get excited, but this, there's just something about it. And so with that, you'll also notice that these pages are not very flimsy. That's because the book that I chose had already some thick, very cottony matte pages. And then what I did was I glued two together. And so what that did was that really stiffened up the pages. And then in a lot of the pages, I would put tape or sometimes even fabric in the gutter of the page, which helped give it a little bit of substance. This is, I don't want to say my favorite because I have a couple other favorites, but this is one of my all-time favorite journals. Just, yeah, I just love everything about it. And I am going to be very sad when this journal is done, and it is almost done. So this is when we started homeschooling. And so things kind of got a little weird here, but I was able to keep up with my journaling. One of the things that I started doing was I would pick one book. I love using children's books, and I just would choose one book, and I would pull all of my images from that one book. And so I have a couple old Dick and Jane books that are falling apart, and they became the book that I used as I was going throughout this journal. We'll talk more about using the one book in your journaling. I've got some great ideas that I want to share with you guys just about journaling in general, but you'll see a lot of Dick and Jane images. Now this is one I just posted on Instagram. I actually did the background probably back in January, and I don't know if I posted it on Instagram. I feel like I did, but the background was just me playing around with some chalk markers. I had gotten some of the Arteza chalk markers, and so I was just testing them and playing around, and the colors kind of made me think of the sea or the ocean. And I'm not really a sea or ocean type of person, but I really liked the work that I had done, so I kind of left it. And I honestly just thought that the pictures were gonna, or that the pages were gonna stay with just that painted background until yesterday. And I had just a little menagerie of paper, some old book pages. I actually, they were from some of my book page like packets that I would sell on Etsy. And since the quarantine, I haven't been selling anything on Etsy, so I just went and pulled some of those items that I used to have in my shop, and I just started using them myself. There was this image from an old 1970s school reader, and it had this whale. And I just saw it yesterday, and I was like, hey, that whale would go good with this painted background. And so I glued it on, and then it just started spiraling from there. I found this image from an old childcraft poetry book, and this is the story or the poem Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod, which I love. It's a sweet, sweet poem, and it always makes me think of my 3 kids because I have a girl and 2 boys. And so then I pulled in some wallpaper. These were all scraps, and this was all done right here on my deck. It was using the stuff I had. I didn't go get anything except for, like, you know, glue and scissors. And I put those pieces on top and then went back over it with marker and pen. Took a few of the words from the poem and put that on here. And then, yeah, I was like, this belongs together. And what was so cool is that it sat undone for the longest time. And so now to see it done, oh my gosh, that just makes me, like, I'm just so excited about it. It was interesting to try my hand at slow stitching, and I practiced a little bit of it in this journal, and I learned a few things along the way. I'm sorry if the camera is shaking. It's the wind. It's blowing and it's making my camera move. Hopefully it's not making you seasick. One of the art supplies that I have fallen in love with is clear gesso, and I know I talked about that in my videos prior to March, but clear gesso has changed everything for me. It's allowed me to build on my layers, and so I want to really spend some time showing you guys how I've been using the clear gesso, and I've got some great tips and some ideas that I've figured out along my journey. Here was my April month. I really love the colors in this, and there was a supermoon that month, and it was pink, and it literally was pink. So this was my tribute to that supermoon, was just some pink fabric and some gauze. Now you'll notice that my stuff doesn't go chronologically, especially my gratitude journaling. I just bounce around to whatever page happens to catch my eye. Some more practice with some slow stitching. And I will tell you, being on quarantine has lended itself beautifully to slow stitching, because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. And here's why: because I don't do slow. So for me to have this time of nothing else was beautiful, because I was able to actually slow stitch and do it the correct way. And I realized just how magical it is. And it just, yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And you'll see that a lot in my journals that I've been doing here recently that I want to share with you guys. You're going to see a lot of my slow stitching and how I'm applying that to my artwork. So this is my May, and we're almost done. One of the things about this journal is the texture, and it's because of the clear gesso that I've been using. It gives it such a grit, and I've become addicted to it. I can't journal on a page that doesn't have that texture. And so I've been playing around a lot with some soft pastels, and I'll show you guys how I've been using them and what I do to preserve them. Oil pastels. I Still love using those. Feed sack fabric. Sorry about that. This is one of my favorite stitching projects that I did. It's these beads, and this was when I was first trying out beads and trying to figure out how to use them and if I was going to like them. And I just love how I have them all lined up there. So I'm going to show you guys, as I go through and do more videos, I'm going to show you guys some tips I learned on slow stitching and what I do to kind of save my fingers, and how I try to make it a little bit easier. And so here's where I am on my journal. This is the last page, and I've got just the rest of this month for my daily gratitude, and then I'll be done. So today is Monday, so I haven't put my entry in for today. And then I have some space over here to finish out this week. So this is going to be where I finish, and I'm at the end. Now I did put in a couple inserts, so this is one of the inserts. And of course, eco-dyeing paper has been a big thing. I had time because of the quarantine. I had time, and so yeah, I tried my hand at eco-dyeing. And you'll see this a lot in my papers, in my journals that I'm ready to share with you guys. And I'll show you some hints, tips, and tricks that I've learned about eco-dyeing and just pressing flowers and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have school done, to have my mind in a good place, and I'm ready to lean in to my art and to share it with you guys.